let's get back into hard news. I hate it. We're having such a good time, and now we're gonna fight. And now I'm gonna make you fight again. But it's okay. But I got to talk about that muzzle law.
Did y'all know that Bill Maher likes dating a lot of well, not a lot, but he likes dating black women. He liked the black ladies. That's what I heard. Yeah. And honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all this. When I found out that he liked dating nothing but black women, I didn't like them. I was like, why? Why only black women? Huh, brother? You got all them nice, fine-looking white ladies out there. Date them, brother. Date them. Trust me, man. I'm weird, but I'm growing. So pray for me. Don't judge me. Pray for me. Okay, so Ben Shapiro, are you going to step up to the plate and whip Malcolm Nance tail or not?
Laws. There's these laws that are been introduced in a number of states to not talk about critical race theory. Now, critical race theory, I must say, to begin with, I hadn't heard the term probably a year ago. Now I hear it every day. I think Americans are just starting to hear it. And I think no one knows exactly what it is. They know it has something to do with race, and it's some kind of a theory. Right? How would you describe it? And then we'll ask, how would you describe it? What is critical race theory?
I will admit that I read a lot of critical race theory in law school. So, you know, the work of Derek Bell or Gene Stefanczyk
This is
and
the
Richard
stuff
Delgado.
no one knows but you and 6 other people.
Right. So,
but what matters is what is it practically?
Why they start laughing? He said, so only you and 6 other people know it. And they just start laughing. Ben Shapiro is serious, bro. He said, I studied this in law school. Can we take this seriously? You asked me a question. Let's get to it. He looks so serious, too. Look at how focused he is. He's about to dive on this topic, man.
Right. So,
but what matters is what is it practically? It's being taught in schools or some form of.
Yes, there's a certain sort of crystallized version of it that is a lot less complex than what critical race theory actually is. But critical race theory essentially argues that racism is baked into all the systems of American society and that any sort of neutral system is, in fact, a guise for racial power. And so the argument is made by Derek Bell, for example, that Brown versus Board of Education, this is an argument he made in 1991, that Brown versus Board of Education was actually a way for the white community to leverage its own power. It wasn't an attempt to end segregation in public schools. Even things that are purportedly good in terms of race, so long as they uphold these broader systems, things like capitalism or things like the meritocracy, these things are actually just guises for power. And so what that boils down to in sort of practical terms is all disparity equals discrimination. If you can see any stat where black people are underperforming white people, this means the system was set up for the benefit of white people and that white people have a duty to tear down these systems in order to alleviate the racism that's implicit in those systems. When it comes to schools, what this tends to boil down to is kids who are white have experienced privilege because the system was built for white people, and we have to change the standards.
Right.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you, and guys, if y'all like this this reaction so far or this style of content, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button for me, and also hit the notification bell so that when we do post videos, you be first to be notified, so that you can help us out and hit that like button as soon as it's posted. I always believed that that white people had a leg up and had a head start, and pretty much everything was shaped so that you all can win. I always believed that. So that's one of my big reasons why I'm looking into these things right here. Yeah, I'm starting a conversation too. If you see the live feed right now here, here, you will see that they are having a conversation about this and other things that have to do with this. But I'm learning. I'm a little ashamed at how I used to think, be honest with you, but I'm appreciative of the knowledge that's out there. I'm gonna tell you that much. Okay, let's go. And also, I will say this: I'm not a huge fan of Ben Shapiro. I'm not, because he just seems very like law, and that to me is like it lacks compassion. It lacks anything other than law, and life is a lot more than just what's in the books and what was created by men for the structure of the country, which is also probably, in my opinion, the biggest company in the world. So it does lean, in my opinion, to people with power. That's the reason why, in my opinion, only certain people can get certain jobs. All right. So I'm still learning though. So don't judge me too early. Watch this whole video first before you judge me. Feel free to judge me all you want at minute number 12. All right? All right.
Privilege because the system was built for white people, and we have to change the standards.
Right. Now, okay, well, so Malcolm, you tell me your definition.
Oh, I agree with everything he just said.
Oh, great.
Why everybody clapping so loud for him? All he said was, I agree with everything he said. So that means Ben Shapiro won that round. Round 1 to Ben Shapiro.
And I appreciate you being honest in defining of what it's like to be Black American, right? That is, I mean, we're talking about a system.
That's unfair.
Well, no, I'm just saying I agree with all of those suppositions because they are grounded in truth. Look, and the funny thing is,
what did he say that was worthy of another round of applause? Like, imagine this. When I'm watching it, right? And I know nothing about what either of them are talking about. All I'm seeing is that two people of note, actually. I mean, obviously, they got to be known if they're on this show with Bill Maher and they're talking about critical race theory. And I'm trying to learn about it. And I'm listening to this gentleman speak. And he's getting applause at everything he says. Who do you think I'm going to believe and listen to when I walk away from this? So, yeah.
Truth. Look, and the funny thing is, it's not just African Americans, right? It's also the Scalp Act of 1749, where for $300 modern dollars, you had to cut off the head or the hair of an Indian to prove that you got them out of the way so they could settle. That's a little bit of American history that people should know about. The Chinese Exclusion Acts of the 1840s. These are things we don't talk about.
Okay. He's bringing up some stuff that continues to get a great deal of round of applause, and he's bringing up things that have to do with American history. So please tell me why he's what you think about this right here, what he's talking about.
Of the 1840s. These are things we don't talk about.
It's not true that people don't talk about these things. We all did learn about...
You don't want them talked about?
No, that's not true either.
You want to cancel them?
No, Malcolm, I'm sorry, you're lying. That's lying.
That's not lying.
He said you're lying, Malcolm. So is he lying about the things that he mentioned, or he's lying about them wanting to talk about it? What is he lying about?
It is lying. I've personally talked about many of the things that you just mentioned. I define critical race theory by citing the actual authors of critical race theory, and you seem to be a pretty good beneficiary of the meritocracy because you have merit, Malcolm. So if you're going to criticize the meritocracy as an outgrowth of white supremacy, then you're going to have to tear down the system that you've succeeded in because you have merit, or do not have merit.
How come they didn't? I think he just now made a really good point. He does have merit, but why didn't they clap for him? Is this a one-sided, okay, is he in front of a liberal, okay, I'm just going to assume that he's in front of a liberal crowd. That's what I'm going to do.
On the system that you've succeeded in because you have merit, or do not have merit.
When my great-great-grandfather ran away from slavery to join the 111th U.S. Colored Troops and fight against the South, keeping human beings as slaves, he didn't think, you know what? In 150 years, my great-great-grandson's going to have to sit on stage and argue with a guy who thinks all that's bullshit. All right?
What is bullshit?
No. I'm just saying.
Malcolm.
There is no controversy. The controversy that's made up is people saying that this is being discussed, this is being taught in schools, and that kids should be kept away from it.
That's not true.
It's not even a real controversy.
Malcolm, the fifth largest school district in America, Clark County, just decided that they were going to lower standards with regard to testing because they wanted to alleviate disparities in outcomes. That is an outgrowth of critical race theory.
Can you draw a straight line to it?
Yes. 100%, because when you say that the meritocracy is an outgrowth of white supremacy, and then you suggest that I'm somehow denying that slavery took place or that your great-great-great-grandfather was a hero because I'm saying that I want people tested when they are in school to see if they are good at school, then what you're purporting to push now is just nonsense.
Wow. Okay. Again, y'all please tell me what y'all think about this, because Ben Shapiro is just pretty much saying fair is fair. And, there is a straight line that he can draw to it. And Malcolm Nance is saying, my great great grandfather had to escape certain hardships in order to fight for what you claim is non-existent. Fight against what you claim is non-existent. If I'm not saying this properly, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But I want to know why Ben Shapiro is right or wrong, and why Malcolm Nance is right or wrong. If y'all can let me know that.
Are we talking about 2021? Or are we talking about 1861? Because
the point is, can we talk about 1861 and 2021?
Yes, we can. And
You just did.
I don't know who's against talking about history.
Well, I mean, I understand that they want to, in Texas, they're talking about removing references to the Ku Klux Klan. They're talking about removing. Well, I mean, come on.
That's Texas.
How can you watch Forrest Gump without even knowing who Nathan Bedford Forrest is, right? I mean, these are people who are historical figures who did bad things. No one is actually saying we want to go back and erase everything and restart and talk to you about these things. Critical race theory is a subject because the Republican right has made it a subject. No real school organizations are mandating this for kids.
I hope every Democrat in America takes your perspective, and they will be shellacked at the polls. Roy Teixeira just wrote a piece, the emerging Democrat majority, Roy Teixeira, he just wrote a piece about what he called the Fox News fallacy, a tendency of people on the left to believe that just because Fox News mentions something, it can't be real. The reality is a lot of this stuff is taught in schools.
You mean like viruses?
Well, okay.
Well,
Can I?
Now I'm just...
Okay, what happened?
I'm just confused
Can I just,
what you're talking
as far
about.
as what people are experiencing in their lives, in their schools.
Did he say you're easily confused? What? Okay. All right. Y'all break this down to me because there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on. He said that critical race theory is being taught in schools. All right.
As far as what people are experiencing in their lives, in their schools.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. There are states, like from the old Confederacy, I think, who do want to airbrush history. That's not, I think, the majority in this country. If you ask me critical race theory, if you say, does that mean teach history unvarnished? I would say yes. Then I'm totally for critical race theory. If you say, does it mean acknowledging that racism persists today? I would say yes, teach that. Should we have remedial means? That's like affirmative action. There's lots of people who are against that. I'm still for that. I still think when you read the statistics, and I have some of them here, blacks earn 40% less, 90% less family wealth, high poverty high schools, 72% blacks to 31% white, live 6 years shorter, half as likely to go to college, 8 times more incarcerated. These are real statistics. The question is, what do we do to address them? These are wonderful. Real statistics. You think we should address them? You think we should address them, right? The question is, what are we doing about it? Because if critical race theory means making children in school fixate on race, I'm not for that. If it's about...
I like that. Making kids at school fixate on race, like you're always just focused on you're losing and everything because of your race. Nah, I'm not for that at all.
On race, I'm not for that. If it's about collective guilt, I didn't do anything to your great-great-great-grandfather. I don't want to be responsible for that. If it's about, a toxicity of just from being born white, if it's about dividing everybody into oppressor and oppressed and oppressor, I'm not for that. So there are things that are being taught and are going around that I'm not for, that if that was critical race theory, I wouldn't be for.
I agree with you, and I don't think that's critical race theory.
But it's being,
I think
again,
what's happened here what's happened here as this terminology, sort of like defund the police, has been hijacked and been framed around the left as that they want to do all this, they want to rip down the entire social fabric of America, and they want us to be guilty about everything. I want you to teach history. I had a lot of people in the military, hold on, I had a lot of people in the military senior officers who had to make life and death decisions who were total morons about the cultures and institutions
All right, so-
and countries we were going into, and people died because
I have
of
a
that.
question.
I don't need that here.
If we agree that history should be taught, why are you defending critical race theory, which is not history?
Did I not just say a moment ago that I think that term has been hijacked and that's not what
Okay,
we're
so
talking
let's say
about?
Then why are
critical
you
race
defending it?
I'm going to go back and repeat that I didn't say that.
Okay.
You are literally
Let's
defending
not-
critical race theory by redefining it as just teaching history, which is a cheap semantic trick, and you know it.
Is this what you do on your show? Because it sucks.
You know, Malcolm. Malcolm, I appreciate that, but
I'm sure
I will comfort myself
sure
tonight
we
by
have a-
sleeping on my bed made of money.
I'm sure we have an adult.
Oh.
I'm sure we have
Now that-
I'm sure we have another adult subject to talk about.
Well, how about that Andrew Cuomo? I tell you, he's...
Okay. All right. Okay. What did you guys think about that one? Don't be too harsh, all right? Especially not on me, all right? I want to hear exactly what y'all feel about this in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Honestly, conversations like this, they're helpful, but not as helpful as an actual conversation, like a meeting of the minds. Like a meeting of the minds is more of, people from different sides who don't mind listening to the other side. Taking in, like, if you're both coming from a side where you know that your position is the only correct position, you're not going to listen to anybody else. You're not going to care what anybody else says. So that's for both of them. That's for Ben Shapiro and that's for Malcolm Nance. If you're inside of this comment section and you're leaning toward one, and you are leaning toward one before you even watch the video, then 9 times out of 10, not even you listened to this objectively. Because I'm certain that there were great points being made by Ben Shapiro, there were great points being made by Malcolm Nance, and there were also great points being made by Bill Maher. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all gotta say. So, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you would like to join the Twitch stream, I would love you to do that as well. I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon, and I'll see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.